We all make mistakes. It's a fact of life. One of many that are hard to live with. But we all have to live with it. Mistakes are possibly one of the most human things we can make. But why are they so feared, almost shunned, for being wrong? We all make mistakes, whether or not we like to admit it. We all, in one point or another, will end up messing something up that will lead to a series of events or event singular that we didn't mean to do. It's, again, a fact of life. But why is it seen as such a bad thing to mess up every once in a while? Even though, again, we all do it. And how can we learn from not only our mistakes, but possibly more importantly, the mistakes of others? So that's what we'll be talking about. So, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. I know if you're watching this video, you probably have. And it always feels so bad whenever I do something wrong that sometimes isn't entirely my fault, but the blame still falls upon me. And it's just honestly wrong, because this sort of loops back into my video about drama. Why do we do this as a race? Are we just, finding enjoyment in the suffering of other people? And in a part we are, and whenever we make fun of somebody for their mistakes, or for something they didn't even do falling under drama. We need to realize that we're all human too, and we sort of need to say, hey, if you mess up every once in a while, that's okay. Like, you don't have to be perfect every single day. You don't have to do it right every single time. But our society has such a standard that we do, it almost becomes a truth. And as sad as that could be, or as not sad as that could be, depending on how you look at it. Again, just depends on how you look at it. But I always felt as if mistakes shouldn't be punished. They shouldn't be outcast for being done. They should be appreciated. They should be analyzed. Not in a meticulous manner, but we should all, whenever somebody makes a mistake, take a step back, say, that was a mistake. How and why did they make that mistake, and how can I prevent myself from making the same mistake? And I feel like we don't do a great job of doing that, especially in today's culture. Because we always feel like we have to be perfect, because there's this societal standard that we do. Even though that societal standard holds no water whenever it comes to, the real world, and, mistakes happen. We really just have to learn to accept that and just move on. But I don't know why it's so hard for a lot of people to do that. But we find doing that too. And another big problem that you have to mention when talking about this topic is not learning from your mistakes. Not only making mistakes, but refusing to learn from those mistakes. Which is almost just as bad as making fun of somebody for making the mistakes in the first place. But we still can't get it through our skulls that that's how this should work. So we continue making the same mistakes. We continue seeing other people's mistakes and then recreating them ourselves. And we continue to sort of fail. That's sort of the whole reason we as humans work. I mean, mistakes are part of the world. Ever since the birth of life, mistakes have been what dictate whether or not life continues on. So, in some form, you could say that making mistakes and making fun of mistakes is almost evolutionary. It was a thing of, you're really bad at this. Maybe you should be made fun of for it, and maybe you could get better, or you could, like, not have children. But, like, it still doesn't hold water. It still doesn't make sense. Like, there are a bunch of arguments you could probably make that might make this whole thing sound a little less cruel, but none of them will truly hold water. And I feel like that simple fact should really show us that it's not right, that we shouldn't be doing this. But still, for years upon years, we've had these same exact problems. We've made the same exact mistakes over and over and over, exhausting the mistake almost, so much so, but we still won't learn from it. We still, don't have that part fully figured out. We can't almost learn from it. We almost feel like we can't learn, and that's wrong. Everybody can learn from a mistake. We just have to be willing to do so. So that has been this video. This one's been a little less thoughtful than I would like it to be. I came up with this idea about like a week ago, and I was definitely not thinking about it enough before I recorded. But it is what it is. So I hope you did enjoy watching. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys down in the comment section.